Hi, everyone. Welcome to summer and welcome to No Joke June. And in case you're wondering, yes, the hair color has changed again, trying to rectify that bright red. So the saga and the journey continues. Anyway, let's talk energies for June, maybe some predictions. I'm calling this No Joke June and sliding into July because I think some things that will be happening will leave you saying, are you kidding me? Like this again, same old stuff. Are you kidding me? No joke. Stuff is going to happen. I keep looking over here because I have notes because I want to make sure I cover everything and be concise and not go off on, transits over here, like I just did. Okay, so you may be saying, oh, but this first week of June has felt really lovely, and it has. It's been kind of uplifting and the energies have been good, but don't let this fool you. Starting next week, starting around the 12th, 13th, it's going to start getting interesting. Let's just say that. And I decided to check into June because I follow Vedic astrology. Vedic astrology is, I want to say much better, in my opinion, much better at predictive on a collective, global, earthly scale, rather than Western astrology. So all the Vedic astrologers are saying, look out for June, starting around the 12th and 13th, all the way into the first week of July, that this is going to be a time in history that marks something. And when I checked in for myself, I got the same information. Okay, so I can feel it in my bones, like something underneath is bubbling up to the surface. Like we've had enough, something's beginning to boil. Now what happens in June, July may not be huge catastrophe kind of stuff, but it's going to be this kind of like, are you kidding me? I've had enough. Okay. And the image that I got was, for June is this people going, oh, I can't, just totally in disbelief, saddened, angered, and frustrated. And what I also get is, people are going to think back in years to come, and they'll say, I remember this day in June 2019 when I finally said to myself, I've had enough. I'm done. And it is in these moments of declaring yourself, I'm done, or saying your inner no to something, that gives the message to your helpers, planetary helpers, guides, angels, whatever you want to call them, devatas, elementals. When you say, I'm done, no to something, and this is what June is all about. June and going forward, people are going to declare, I'm done, no more. That is when the helpers, your personal helpers, the collective helpers, can truly begin transformations on this planet. Okay? Remember that. Start saying no, your inner no. You see something that just doesn't resonate with your heart, you say no and tell your guides, your helpers, begin taking action. Now is the time. Okay? I feel this so deeply into my bones that I cannot convey to you the importance of saying no to any and everything that doesn't resonate with your heart. Divisive speech, animal abuse, you name it, anything. Start saying no. Okay? Okay, I'm off my soapbox. So this is the month, the energy of June. And this is sort of what the Vedic astrologers are alluding to. But, you know, they do speak in generalities, and I've seen some other, well, just one or two other energy reports for June, and it gets real general, and I wanted to dive deeper. So I checked in with the I Ching, and I use the I Ching daily, sometimes more than daily, for my own inner work. And I cannot convey to you how frighteningly, boy, that's a hard word to say, how scary it is, how accurate it is. So I don't even question. So when I checked in with the I Ching, and if you don't know, the I Ching has been used as a divination system, but it's more of the tool for clearing, dissolving ego, and discerning what ego programs are running in you. But it's a process of using coins, throwing the coins to get a hexagram, and the hexagram has meanings to it. Okay, and the hexagram that I got was hexagram 59. Now, for gene key people out there, you know how important the 59th gene key is in the transformations on this planet. It's huge. The 59th and 55th gene keys, or hexagrams, mark the beginning of changes on this planet, real changes, okay? Really big changes. So for me to get the 59th gene key for this month, it's beyond synchronistic. So I know this to be true, okay? So hear me on this. It's been a while since I've done a video, and I'm kind of stumbling here, but I'll just keep plugging away. Okay. Okay, we'll talk more about the 59th gene key later, but let's talk about the 59th hexagram. And now the hexagram and the gene key are the same, but the gene keys has taken the hexagram information into a more personal level, and the hexagram speaks to collective and universal energies. So I'm going to start off with what the 59th hexagram was saying about the upcoming energies, or the energies that we're stepping into. And the 59th, I got line 3 and line 5, is all about dissolution and breaking away from collective thinking, the group think, the group ego, and breaking away from personal relationships. This is the mark, or the beginning of the dissolution of the entire collective ego, this alternate reality that has been keeping all of us hooked into this kind of slavery system, right? That it's been extremely hard to unhook ourselves from the Matrix? Yeah, the Matrix, blue pill, red pill, I don't know. Can't remember what pill. So this hexagram is saying it's a dissolution, people breaking away from this alternate reality matrix. Okay, now I know yes, we've all been breaking away from it individually as we're waking up spiritually, but this is more on a collective scale. Even people that aren't even into spirituality are going to be saying enough. Okay, I've had enough. Okay, let me see what else. Breaking away from groups, throwing up their hands. Sorry, I just lost my train of thought. Christ. excuse me, didn't mean to say that. So people are going to have enough of this group think, and it will leave them angry and looking more towards themselves, which is a great thing. But they will also lose their sense of belonging, which will cause challenge. Okay, so they're going to be very frustrated. People are going to become aware of the tactical use of leaders in all kinds of groups and in all kinds of positions of power or leading ability, of the use of we. Okay, for the best interest of the group, let's all do this. And you will recognize how leaders, political leaders in particular, will use, oh, we have to do this because we as a group are so awesome, we have to take this action. And you're going to find out this month that this talk from our leaders is going to be double talk, and it really isn't going to be, their actions are not going to really be in our best interest. And it's going to cause frustration, and this is what's going to cause the, I've had enough with this affiliation, I've had enough of this person, or I'm just tired of this group, it doesn't resonate with me, okay? So that your leaders they're not going to represent the group heart, let's just put it that way. So this is the time for you to say your inner no and breaking away from these groups if you're in groups. And don't allow the group or persons to speak for you and tell you how to act. This kind of stuff is already happening, as an example, in the UFO and disclosure community. There are several top, stars in the UFO community that are now coming under intense scrutiny because their behaviors, their speech, and their actions do not match the group heart. And they are realizing that these leaders or stars in the UFO disclosure, what do they call them, whistleblowers, are not even telling the truth, that they were all con men. So this is what I mean. People are throwing up their hands in this particular group entity and saying, we've had enough of this person stepping away. The truth is being revealed. And the whole UFO community, disclosure community, is kind of like, there's anger over here, anyway, all of this is creating, balls of conflict all over. So while people are breaking away from groups, it is creating balls of conflict that have to be released somewhere in the future or in the collective. So just be aware of this. So watch out. Okay, I'm going to continue on, and I hope this is making sense. So what else was the I Ching saying? The sage. This is what the sage had to say. Line 3, it is saying that now's the time to no longer sacrifice yourself for the good of the group if it doesn't resonate with you. This will only cause remorse, right? And don't get swayed. This is really a time for you to declare your freedom, right? This really hasn't been a spiritual journey that we've all been on. Whether you're on a spiritual journey or not, you're on a spiritual journey. You are a spiritual being. You're on a spiritual journey, whether you're awake or not. So this time on this planet, it's all about the freedom journey. And now's the time for you to just break free and be who you are and be who you want to be. So if you're in groups and you're relying on them, it's time to break away. And do not get swayed by others calling you you're weird or you don't fit in, this is the time to begin following your own path. Okay, so even if you're on a spiritual journey and you're in the New Age community and like, oh yeah, I think I'm now going to go out and be, I don't know, a tarot reader because I need to be service to others. This is the time to really check with yourself. Do you really want to do this? Is this truly your calling, or are you still in the group think, I have to be service to others? Maybe you simply just want to stay home and, I don't know, write, work on your art, be a mother, have a nice job. Okay? This is the time to get really, really honest. Okay. Let me see. I have notes all over the place. I should have prepared more. I really do apologize. Another thing that will happen is some chaos will break out, and I use chaos in quotes. Something's going to arise in the next couple of weeks where it looks like chaos. And we're all going to get like, oh, this again. Oh, we're going to get worried. And then suddenly, let's just say it's a government issue. And suddenly there's a quick fix. And we all, breathe a sigh of relief and we go, yay, our guy did it. And we come to find out that the solution wasn't any change at all. It was masking and reinstalling the same thing. This is what the I Ching is predicting. Okay, I put that in quotes. But this type of situation will happen. And it's going to become very obvious to people that the leaders do not have our best interest in their hearts at all. That they keep reinstalling the same program, dressing it up in a different form, and nothing ever changes. And they will use the excuse because some chaos will break out, and they'll say that the old system or the same fix is better than chaos, and no transformation will happen. So watch for this. And this is the time when this happens. It's happened so many times in history that you have to say no. But this is the point when people will go, I've had enough. I've had enough of this government, this leader, blah, blah, blah. Okay? This is the time to say no. Okay, now, on a personal level, moving from the 59th hexagram to the 59th gene key, this is the time it's asking us to look deep down into our deep distrust of others. This is all about personal relationships and how we fear others and why we fear others. Do we truly trust the people in our lives? And as as you begin looking at the groups you're affiliated with, or say you're leaving a group, you begin to realize the dishonesty in all of us, in others. And the 59th gene key asks us to look at our own dishonesty. How honest have you been in the relationships that you have? And even most importantly, to yourself. This is the time to look into your relationships and say, why am I here? Or why am I still here? Am I still here because I simply don't think no one else will want me, or I won't be able to get a job and stand on my own? We all have hidden agendas, and this is the time to start looking at them. And hidden agendas doesn't mean that you're like a con artist and that you're lying. It just means it's time to bring these things up. Bring more honesty into your relationships. Now, this doesn't mean that you have to divulge your hidden agenda to the other person, but it is to yourself. Oh, I'm in this relationship because I'm afraid. I'm afraid to be alone. Okay, I see that. And maybe that is something to share with the other person, but I guarantee you they have hidden agendas as well. And revealing, being totally honest, this will ultimately release the tension in the relationship, in your relationships, and will allow for greater transformations and intimacy. So on a large scale, June is all about dissolving your attachment to the group think, saying no to the groups that have been speaking for you, or you're in a group. It's time to detach and to begin standing in your own authority. I guess that's the easiest way to say it. And to begin looking at really, are we really honest with ourselves? This didn't come out the way I really wanted it, but I hope it made sense. And I will do some predictions in the next video. Okay, so be prepared. June is going to be an interesting month. Bye.